Hi, welcome to For the Vibes, the self improvement podcast where intentional living meets good energy. I'm Cass. Hi. I was hoping we could catch a quick vibe. Good job, buddy. This is my co host for today. In my last episode, I mentioned that I am a New Yorker, and so by nature, I tend to talk a little fast. And so I am being very intentional about the pace in which I speak, my register, my tone, and I'm also being deliberate about the words that I use. As well as in my last episode, we explored what it means to be for the vibes, and we talked about focusing on intentionality as we step into 2025. And now that we have our focus, I wanted to dive deeper and discover some practical tips, tricks, and treats on ways to cultivate intentional living. So, welcome once again to episode 2. So glad to vibe with you. What is intentionality anyway? At its core, intentionality is the act of being deliberate and purposeful. And when I think of intentional living, I think of self awareness. I think of understanding where you are in your timeline and in your body and in your mind, and then how you move forward with that knowledge. I wouldn't say it's about having everything perfectly planned out, but being more clear on what you want, why you want it, and then aligning your choices with that vision. My journey with intentionality began, I want to say, about a year ago. I had a realization. I realized that I was losing myself in collecting memories and just letting life happen to me instead of creating a life that felt more authentic. And not to say that my life wasn't authentic or that it wasn't great, but I wanted more. I realized that I wanted to have more of an input in actively shaping who I was and where I was heading. So I started to live more mindfully out of my head and into my life. And I think when you start to focus on intentionality or when you start to live intentionally, a shift happens, something shifts. You stop wasting your time and your energy on things that no longer serve your goals or your happiness. And we likes to be happy on this side, okay? A happier me is a better me. A happier me is a prettier me. A happier me is a happier me. Ooh, we almost choked there a little bit. A happier me is a happier me. And like, who doesn't want to be happy? I do. One of the simplest ways I learned to cultivate intentional living was to ask myself this question: is this serving the life I want to create? That question guided so many of my choices, and it continues to guide my choices. It nudged me to show up differently, not just for other people, but for myself first and foremost, because you cannot show up for others if you don't know how to show up for yourself, or if you don't know what that looks like, or if you're unsure. And so I had to get it together. I had to get her together. We had to get ourselves together. I feel like I haven't taken a sip of this whole time. It's wine. I don't know why, but I felt like sharing that. It is wine. It is a Cabernet. It's a little old. I opened it about 5 days ago. It's on its last leg, so which is why I'm drinking it. And I gotta say, 5 days later, it tastes better than when I first opened it. They say you should let your wine breathe, but I don't know. 5 days though? Another way I learned to cultivate intentionality was to start small and overcome my resistances. And let me tell you, okay, bitch. I said bitch. But you really said bitch though. If you're really for the vibes, comment where that reference is from. Comment if you're for the vibes. Where is that reference from? But yes, the beginning was not easy. Change is very uncomfortable. And there was a lot of mental rewiring that I had to do. It's like I started clearing out all the clutter from my mind and started making space for joy, for purpose, and for better connections. I had to get to a point where I understood that. Actually, let me close my legs because we don't want to give away the goods. Not just yet. I had to get to a point where I understood that the discomfort was a sign of growth. It actually proved that I was moving in the right direction. So, to tie it in, remember when cultivating intentional living, start small. Trust that you are making the right choices, no matter how minor they are, that will bring you closer to the life that you want to create. Now that we've gotten some ways to cultivate intentional living, you might be wondering, well, where does the vibes come in? Okay, when do we get to have fun? I'm gonna tell you. Vibing is not just about chasing good energy, it's about creating it. And I think about a year ago, when I had this realization, I learned that I was kind of stuck on autopilot, just chasing good energy. As we enter 2025, I want you to think about the vibes that you want to create for the life that you are building, not just for today. I want you to think about the choices. What choices can you make starting this week to align with that vision? What energy do you want to bring out every time you step into a room? Me, I want to be a bad bitch. Point blank, period. My boyfriend would beg to differ that I am, which I am, but I want to feel it. I want to exude it. I want it to be effortless. It is effortless. So I want to show more of that. To wrap up the episode, remember, vibing is about being present, it's about showing up, and it's about creating a life that feels as good as it looks. My cat is at the far end of this couch, just cleaning himself all over. And as much as I love my cat, I adore my cat. The sound of him cleaning himself is like cotton rubbing against each other. The hairs in the back of my neck just stood up because I hate the sound of cotton rubbing against each other. That is like, when I think of the word cringe, that's what the sound is to me. But I love him because he knows I'm a germaphobe, so he cleans himself very frequently. And behind every emotionally unstable girl is her boy cat following her everywhere she goes. So, cheers to you, Papa. Thank you for loving me. And thank you for joining me on For the Vibes. If anything I said resonated with you or you caught a quick vibe, please like, share, and subscribe to be part of my community. I would love to create some vibes with you and see where this goes. With intention, of course. So stay vibey, stay intentional. I am intentional. I am for the vibes. Ciao. Until next time. I hope I wasn't making a political statement with this shirt. This is my boyfriend's shirt, and I like it. I don't really follow politics. We're all in God's hands, and I trust God's hands. So, not making a political statement. But the goat, okay? The goat. Goat. Just goat activity right here. If you made it this far, you are really for the vibes. So you get a treat. You get to watch my bloopers. Check them out. Okay, bye. My cat's doing orange cat behavior. So start small. Sit. Thank you. You're good right there. When you're focused on intentional, when you know, Papa, sit right there. Sit next to me. You can sit next to me. Such a baby. Oh my gosh. Hi, welcome to For the Vibes, the Intentional Living podcast. Hi, welcome to For the Vibes, the self. Okay, maybe I'm nervous. You want to come sit next to me? No? Okay. You know what? I need to do some thumbnails, so let's see what kind of thumbnails we can get.